today I am going to talk on asymptotic notations. So it is the mathematical representations of a time complexity of an algorithm. So what is time complexity? The time complexity is the time taken by an algorithm for an execution. So there are mainly three notations are there, that is big O notations, omega notations and theta notation. So today I am going to explain about the big O notations. So it is most frequently used notation and it represents the worst case of an algorithm. Worst case means the any algorithm which takes maximum time for an execution, then it is known as worst case. And here we consider the least upper bound conditions. So this is the graphical representations of a big O notation. Here f of n and g of n be the two functions and t be the time and n be the number of inputs. So c will always greater than or equal to 0 and n will always greater than or equal to k. So this is the conditions in this graph. The general form of these big O notations is f of n is equal to order into g of n. So this is the main conditions of a big O notations, that is f of n is less than or equal to c into g of n. So let us consider an example. F of n is equal to 2n square plus n. This is the function. So we can solve it like this. So in this n place we have to replace with the value which is having the higher power. So n is having the power 2. We have to consider this. By removing the symbol g, we are going to get the equation like this. Now, by giving the value to the c, we are going to get the final equations of this. So when the value of the c is equal to 1, these conditions will not satisfy, that is 2n square plus n. So these conditions will not satisfy. Next we have to consider for c equal to 2. Then we are going to get 2n square plus n is less than or equal to 2n square. So this condition will also not satisfy. So then we have to give the value 3 for the c. That is so these conditions will satisfy this equation. So for the c value 4, 5, these conditions will satisfy. By solving this equation, we are going to get so we are going to get that n is greater than or equal to 1. So finally we are going to write that so f of n is equal to 2n square plus n, where n is greater than or equal to 1 will be the final equations. So in this session I am going to conclude that big O notations is the commonly and frequently used notation and it will helpful for the algorithm analysis.
Today I am going to explain the topic big omega. Big omega means